do you think it is?
I don't know, that's why I'm asking.
So,
Is it good or bad?
it's pretty bad.
Oh.
Do you recognise that part of the word? Yeah. So do you know what racism is?
Yeah.
How would you define racism?
Discriminating against someone because of their skin colour.
Yeah. So speciesism is exactly the same.
Discriminating against species.
Yes. Against animals, different animals because of what species they are. So most of us would call ourselves animal lovers. Most people, some people don't. Most of us do. So, but what we're taught is to love dogs and cats and dolphins. Somebody shoots a gorilla or a bear, we get upset. We get upset at bullfighting and fox hunting. But the animals that we typically eat or wear, we're taught they don't really matter at all.
Like which ones?
Cows, chickens, pigs, sheep.
I do.
So what we do is we go into a shop. Well, when we're children, we're taught we have to eat these animals to survive, which is a complete and utter lie. And then for the rest of our lives, we go into shops and butchers and wherever, and we buy products that are formed from real hideous cruelty to animals. And we all get this perception of humane slaughter. Something humane happens when you go into a slaughterhouse, like cows get belly rubs and tickles, and they die in a happy way. And nothing could be further from the truth. It's unbelievably cruel. Even the whole process is cruel, never mind taking somebody's life away from them for an unnecessary reason. So that's what speciesism is. It's something you're taught from a young age, that be nice to some animals, these other animals. Well, we kind of like pigs and chickens, but we're going to eat their dead bodies as well, you know. So
Yeah.
does that make any sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm a vegan activist, so just trying to not judge people in any way, because I paid for it most of my life. I was brought up the same way. I loved animals when I was young, like loved animals, and yet until I was 19 years old, I was paying for all the same stuff that everybody else does as well. So it's just been a process during my life, and I've realised now, well, if I don't have to eat these products to survive. I'm 54 and I've been vegan for over 10 years. I'm considering myself to be really healthy. So if there's no necessity, well then why would you be cruel to an animal and take its life away from it if there's no reason? What's the reason? Other than the ones you've been taught, like protein and calcium and all that bullshit that the industry wants you to believe. You can get everything you need from the animal kingdom. So you think of a greyback gorilla, it's 250 kilograms. Where does it get its protein from? Have you ever seen a greyback gorilla? Like they're massively muscular. He eats plants. So you can get all the protein. I know I'm lean because I've been an endurance athlete all my life, but Mr. Universe, like a few years ago, was vegan. Strongest man in the world, Patrick Bavumi, he's not now, but he was a couple of years ago. Vegan. Loads of like NFL athletes and stuff are eating a plant-based diet now. So if you can get all your stuff from plants, why be cruel to animals? Especially if you're an animal lover. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no.
It's really good.
What do you say?
That's just really good. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm vegetarian already.
Yeah. It's just trying to get people to think. Vegetarian's good, and I was vegetarian as well, but I'd encourage you to go vegan because the dairy industry is probably the cruelest of the whole lot. I don't know if you know what happens in the dairy industry, but it's unbelievably cruel. I didn't either, by the way, so again, I'm not judging you, but the dairy industry is so cruel. So if you see the herds of dairy cows in the fields, they're all female. Where are all the boys? They're all killed at a very young age. Some of them are killed when they're born. The male dairy cows don't produce milk, obviously, because they're not female, and they produce a really bad quality meat. So the farmers just dispose of them because it costs them money to raise them. So some of them will shoot them in the head. Some of them will just put them in the ground and hit them over the head with a shovel or a spade at the first day they're born, just to get rid of them. And some of them now will take them and market about 10 days old, sell them for veal. We're not allowed veal pens here, so they go over to the continent. So we go down to Dublin and Cork, and they load these little baby, like the size of dogs, the most gentlest wee soldier I've ever seen. Hundreds of them go on lorries, journeys up to 100, 125 hours. Some of them go to Belgium, Holland. Some of them go to North Africa, like Libya, places like that. Treated unbelievably cruelly when they get there. Stand in a veal pen, a chain around their neck for 18 weeks, and then pulled out a veal pen, and somebody sticks a knife in their throat at 18 weeks old. So it's just so wrong, and then the females are exploited for their entire life. So they'd be pregnant 9 months, the same as a human female. That's the only way they produce milk, by the way, is like a human female when they're pregnant or have given birth. So they keep them perpetually in a cycle of pregnant. Once their children are born, they take them away from them, which is really distressing for them. You know, we don't have a monopoly on maternal feelings. Animals love their babies too. So they'll take the babies away, almost immediately make them pregnant again. They'll do that 4 or 5 times until they're about 6 years old, and then their milk consumption, they're so spent because can you imagine being made pregnant? Having a baby, being made pregnant, having a baby is so hard on them, so they end up, when you see dairy cows, I don't know if you ever see them crossing roads and stuff, loads of them are crippled, they have pains, and really, really hard on them. So 5 or 6 years old, off the slaughterhouse they go to. They can live to 30 years old. So look up the dairy industry, it's really, really cool.
Will do.
And you're halfway there already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right, thanks for stopping. Have a nice day. Cheers, buddy.